Hi everyone, and today we're gonna tell you about trick-or-treating.
And we are going to talk about the history of trick-or-treating.
How it occurred and what people basically do on Halloween with trick-or-treating.
Trick-or-treating occurred in the 9th century in Celtic Britain and Ireland. The night of the 31st of October was known as Samhain Pagan Festival, which later was renamed All Saints' Day by the Catholic Church. At Samhain, people believed that the souls of dead came into our world and were appeased by offerings of food and drink. So it's believed that trick-or-treating evolved from a ritual where people danced around a bonfire, dressed as god or demons, and received different treats to appease the evil spirits. Also, when the Christianity spread into Britain, a new practice appeared called souling. Poor people knocked the houses of rich ones to receive pastries called soul cakes, in exchange for praying to homeowners' dead relatives. Meanwhile, in Ireland and Scotland, young people visited their neighbors' houses and made a mini performance like singing a song or telling a poem before they got a treat of nuts, fruit, and coins. Trick-or-treating has elements of Guy Fawkes Night. On this night in 1605, British children wore masks and carried effigies begging for pennies. By the early 19th century, children were working on the streets on November 5th, carrying effigies and asking for a penny for the guy. In the mid-19th century, large numbers of immigrants in the US helped to popularize Halloween, and in the early 20th century, Irish and Scottish communities revived the old world traditions of souling and guising in the United States. The term trick-or-treating wasn't used until the 1920s, when it had become one of the loveliest activities on Halloween night among young people. A Canadian journalist wrote an article about the town's Halloween meeting, where he said the youthful tormentors were at the back door and front demanding edible plunder by the word trick-or-treat, to which the inmates gladly responded and sent the robbers away rejoicing. At the beginning, when it all started, adults weren't happy being forced to hand out sweets under the threat of a trick, and saw it more as an offer they couldn't refuse. Trick-or-treating nowadays is when kids are dressed up in different Halloween costumes, walk with their parents on the streets, knock on people's houses, say trick or treat, and get sweets into their Halloween buckets or bags. Traditionally, people go from one door to another between 5:30 and 9:30 p.m. Here is an example of trick-or-treating nowadays.
Trick or treat!
Happy Halloween! Wait.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Bye!
Bye!